Question number 12, Jan Logie.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Social Development and asks, will the Minister be raising benefit levels, given official advice that shows that a family of 4 living on a benefit has $72 less per week than what they need to provide the, quote, core essential items, unquote? If not, why not?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, yes, the government has committed to increase benefit levels by $25 a week for families with children from April 2016. The first increase in core benefit levels in 43 years, other than for inflation. Plus, we're increasing support to our most vulnerable communities, free GP visits and prescriptions for all children under 13. I've just announced in this House the 5 millionth breakfast under the government's expanded Kickstart breakfast program. We've funded KidsCan $500,000 to provide raincoats and footwear. We've put extra Swiss social workers in schools, in low decile schools. We're rolling out children's teams to work with at-risk children and their families. And we've insulated every State House that could be insulated.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, Jan Logie.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Given that after that additional $25, if they're lucky enough to get the full amount, these families will still be $47 a week short, what essentials does the Minister advise these families go without? Food, power, transport or rent?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Well, Mr Speaker, the member is quoting from one of the 3 scenarios that were laid out as part of the initial work in developing the child hardship package. Now, that very same family scenario, under which a lot of assumptions have been made, shows very clearly that if we can support that family into either full-time work for one and part-time for the other, or part-time work for both of those parents, their circumstances and that of their families are significantly changed. And that's the focus of this government and will continue to be the focus of this government, because we know that work is the best way out of poverty for those families.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker.
Order. Supplementary question, Jan Logie.
Is the Minister concerned that even when this family does manage to find some work, their pay and ability to look after their children will be significantly reduced as a result of ongoing debt repayments because of insufficient benefits?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
No, Mr Speaker. In fact, the scenario that the member is continuing to quote from shows that by having one member of the family, this is a family, a scenario that shows a family with 2 children aged 10 and 8, that if one adult is working 40 hours a week and the other 20 hours a week, they will have in excess of those basics of living $207 every week extra.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, Jan Logie.
When the Minister references the scenario, which doesn't include a landline or access to a computer or newspapers or personal allowances or access to holidays or alcohol, or assuming there's any debt repayment to work and income to cover basic food.
I want the supplementary question, please.
How does that Minister expect the families to pay for things like when their car breaks down or their washing machine breaks down or somebody gets sick and has to go to the hospital, which isn't even in that scenario?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, the scenario that the member is quoting from does actually include a landline. It doesn't include a mobile phone, and we all know that that's probably the incorrect assumption. However, I come back to the fact that this government made a decision that no other government in 43 years has made, and that is to increase the amount paid to people on a benefit by $25 a week. And that is to alleviate some of the hardship that these scenarios showed. But its main focus is in supporting people to be independent of government, because that gives them the option and the choices to live full and successful lives, and the lives of their children are considerably improved as well.
And that concludes questions for oral answer. I have received a letter from Kelvin Davis seeking to debate understanding